Joel Erving from Fort Myers, Florida, is a guy that we had touched on last week, I believe. Wrote a piece, did a video. That young gentleman is also now a Miami Hurricanes football commit for 2026. So he had been committed to Louisville, and shout out to Louisville because they generally do good work in early identification and in recruiting of players who might have a chance in the future. And as you're looking at this, first of all, the height and weight are outdated. So on a visit to Florida State, they measure in players. They put out that they measured him officially at 6'6.5", 330 pounds. So, you round up, basically you're talking 6'7", 340. This is another kid who's in the 3-star range. He'd been committed to Louisville since last March. And again, shout out to them for making moves early. They did the same thing with Cole McConaughey, who plays for the Miami Hurricanes now at defensive end in last class. Got him committed early before his high school junior season. And then big schools come knocking around. And I mean, look, this is just kind of par for the course with Louisville. When the big schools start coming around, you're going to lose those players to the bigger schools more often than not. There's going to be times where you get a guy and things like that, but in general, the more often or the more frequent engagement is whatever big team will finally figure out your underrated recruit and then go snag him. And such is the case here with Joel Erving. Miami got him on campus a couple of times, and he decommitted not this week, as in yesterday or 2 days ago, but last week, Monday, the 24th of March. And then he was one of the million players who was on campus for the controlled situational practice. It wasn't a full scrimmage, but whatever. They did situations and the pool party. And for the third week in a row, I believe, third or fourth week in a row, following an unofficial visit, he then committed to the University of Miami. This is, well, first of all, go watch the video that I did for him, and there will be a video forthcoming for JJ Sparks. This is a kid who's a pure tackle. You're talking 6'7", 340. I've heard the Canes Insight guys talking about he has 11.5-inch hands and like an 84-inch wingspan. Hello. Like, yeah. Like mitts. So
that's palm to pinky, top of like, pinky, right?
Yeah, it's something like that. Pinky to thumb going on the So this is a kid who's like 20 or 22 and 15 on the basketball court. When you go watch the video, the first two plays are him, spoiler alert, pulling on inverted V or power read. And a kid that big on a high school linebacker, which is basically going to be a small safety at the college level, and he's has a head of steam coming around that corner. There's some comical blocks on his highlight film. This is a kid that Miami has reportedly been super duper duper high on for a long time. They do not view him as a mid 3-star. They view him as a upper 4-star, potentially pushing 5-star kind of talent and potential. He's, massive. He doesn't really have bad weight at 6'7", 340-ish. Again, he fits your physical markers for the position to a T. Like, he looks now like an NFL offensive tackle. And this is a huge get. Cannot say it enough. Like, I know that, there are the people who focus only on current recruiting stars, and you're going to look on the screen and say, well, Cam, in the composite, 733 in the country, 0.869 recruit rating, number 60 offensive tackle, number 100 in the state of Florida. Go watch the film. Go see the, and he's bigger than 280. I guarantee you he's bigger than 280. Go look at the film. And I paused it and I pointed out many times. You just see him like he's a full head taller than dudes on his team. Like it's ridiculous. And to Dave's point here, the offer list tells more than the star rating. So if we go, or Mark, you can actually just scroll down really quickly on this page for Joel Erving, just to the top.
I was looking for video, actually. I was looking for tape online. Is what I was going for. What do we want here?
Oh, just scroll down a second so we can see the other teams recruiting him at the top of this 247
I gotcha.
window. Just a scotch. And there's good. So Miami, USC, Florida. I mean, those are like the real big ones. You can go up. Oh, Florida State's there, but
bad.
I mean, well, yeah, Georgia's not bad. But you know, when you're also looking at, you know, the who does he have offensive or official visits, you know, all these different kind of things. But like, yeah, like again, yeah, the offer list and where he's supposed to be visiting and things like that has way more to do. And I fully expect when there's another update on all of the services coming towards the end of spring, Joel Erving, his ranking is going to skyrocket. This is not anybody's 3-star, guys. I'm trying to tell you. And, you know, Miami believes that completely. And, yeah, this is another big get when you consider then, you know, you have the Kenny Pepe or Kenny I don't even know how to say it, from IMG Academy, who's, you know, 6'7", 325, 330 pounds at left tackle. You got Jackson Cantwell from Nixon, Missouri, the #1 overall player in America, also at left tackle, you know, in that same kind of size range. You can really have a very, very, very elite class for offensive line if you get either or both of those guys. And even if you don't, then you can just keep going and looking at other offensive linemen who are coming down here. Johnny Jones from Berkeley Prep, 6'6", 305. You know, he's a 4-star offensive tackle, has been down multiple times, including last weekend, I do believe, for the pool party, and he has an official visit on the list. Ben Congdon already committed. Cannon Pickett, DJ Pickett's cousin, 6'4", 324, probably profiles as a guard, but he's another guy. Ryan Moret from Miami Southridge, 6'4", 290. He's another guy who profiles on the inside. Who's there? Reese Woodrow from Orlando Boone. He's a guy who also projects inside but plays tackle at the high school level, 6'3.5", 310 per his 247. Those are all guys. And Brett College, 6'5", he's basically 6'6", 320. But again, you're looking at him to play guard at the next level. And I'm sure that there's more. You know, like there are so many guys who Miami is after that are of the caliber that you need. So, yeah, you know, this is another good get. And when you really look at Joel Erving as a blue chip, because he is, along with Ben Congdon, who is ranked that way already, and Joel Erving isn't. Yeah, there's a lot to like here.
Appreciate the super chat coming in from Eddie. Good evening, gents. First Armwood, and now Jacksonville Bowls. Is the entire state of Florida becoming the state of Miami?
First of all, Eddie, thank you for the super chat. Second of all, yeah, look, if we get a blue chip commit from Palm Beach Gardens Dwyer next, whoa, like this is crazy. I mean, these are schools that Miami has never really recruited well. They've been outposts for other, you know, institutions, whether it be Florida, Ohio State, anybody but Miami, basically, is where these players from these schools have gone. Yeah, anywhere but Miami. And then you get Jalen Seatbelt Waters from Armwood to go along with Kellen Wiley and Gerard Pringle the previous year last year, who are already on campus from Armwood. Now you go into Jacksonville Bowls, like famous outposts that like do not send their players to Miami. And then, yeah, if you got, Palm Beach Gardens Dwyer, who their former coach, I believe, is retired. His name, like the liquor, was Jack Daniels. Swear to God. And he was very famous as he went to Florida. And I mean, Miami had been in the race for several players from there. And he pushed them in any direction other than that. And I worked at a high school with a coach who went to somewhere that wasn't Miami. I've seen it. I know that it happens. So don't sit here and tell me, no, you're just making stuff up. Go look at the goddamn record, right? Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. But to Eddie's point, if I don't know that there is a player at Dwyer now who's Miami caliber. Been a little bit of a downturn when you have migratory patterns and all of a sudden guys live in different areas and you have like a Javian Mallory who's at West Boca instead of being at a Dwyer type of a thing because, people move to these different areas of Palm Beach County. But yeah, it's seismic that these schools that Miami has not gotten into to recruit blue chip talents, of which there have been plenty. Finally, we're seeing, some positive movement there. And yeah, I just wanted to shout out Palm Beach Gardens Dwyer because, yeah, they didn't have anybody go anywhere but Florida except for they had the one wide receiver, Dixon or whatever, went to Ohio State years ago. But outside of that, nothing. So, yeah, it's crazy to see Miami just pretty much going where they want to get these players, even from areas that are staunchly not Miami areas, like Polk County, like over there by Armwood, buddy. Those are not Miami Hurricane areas. But I love to see that we're going where we need to get guys, and I hope that it continues.
You're obviously talking about Johnny Dixon, right?
Him, yes.
Yeah, Dwyer, Palm Beach Gardens.
Okay. And Miami was heavily involved in that recruitment and was thought to be at the top of that for a while. And then he started talking to his coach and everything. And all of a sudden, we're going to look at some other places. And that was when Urban was up there. And then you can see that. Okay, so you got that connection and then this connection and make that phone call and like, yeah. So, to Eddie's point, yeah, we're going places where we've seldom been able to go to get, blue chip or, Miami caliber talent. So, all positive things when you look at the state of Miami Hurricanes recruiting, which is, I mean, it's not lockdown everywhere in the state of Florida, Eddie, but, Cristobal and company are proving they can go into any location, go into anybody's living room and get what they need.
We'll also keep in mind as we look at these recruiting rankings that Cam carved through the last 3 to 4 recruiting classes, and I find that to be a fun exercise. And one of those, the Xavier Restrepo year, was almost flipped on its head in regards to it was Restrepo, the lowest rated player in the class, being the best. And then even 3 of the lowest 4 were arguably the 3 best players in the class.